Hello and welcome to Club 100's Race Day extra coverage from our Lightweight Sprint Championship's first visit to the Red Lodge circuit near Bury St Edmunds in Suffolk. Now, subscribe to our Twitter and Facebook to be kept informed about our full coverage from Wilton Mill in a few weeks, as this is just an extra and a bit of fun using helmet camera footage, courtesy of Championship front runners Lex Wakeman, Sam Luscombe, Daniel Healy and Harrison Darville. The fastest lap in the Pre-A final by Championship leader Adam White gives him pole position ahead of the Pre-A final winner Daniel Healy. Greg Aaron, Alexander Reddy start on row 2. Sean Brierley and Bookmore Park star Tom King start on row 3. Harry Neal, Tom Powell, Alexander Lamin and Adrian Richardson make up the top 10 of a full 26-car grid. This is the third attempt to start this final. Turn 2 and 3 is just so tricky. Adam White gets the whole shot from pole. He leads over start-finish ahead of Daniel Healy. Well, fingers crossed into turn 2. Will he make it through this time altogether? Oh, Sam Luscombe down the inside of Harrison Darville. Oh, it's getting messy. That's Nick Hoyle on our right. Well, amazingly, they're all running. Oh, we're on board here with Lex Wakeman. Is that 3, 4, 5 wide? I'm not sure. I've closed my eyes. I'm hoping they're all going to make it through. I think they have. Something of a miracle. Well, this final is now reduced from 14 to 13 laps. It's the last race of the day, which is probably just a good thing as well. It means we can give them as many laps as we can. It's Adam White leading Daniel Healy, gap to Greg Aaron and Sean Brierley. Back on board with Wakeman. Now he's been getting more and more angry as the day's gone on. He was relegated from the win in the Pre-A final due to jumping the start, so he ended up with points for third. So it's not been a good day. He was well up on the grid for the main A final, but after one of the starts he was forced to have a kart change. That relegated him to the back of the grid. I'll try and talk over his onboard camera to try and hide the profanity, which I've already heard. I hope his grandmother's not watching. And there is Lex trying to go round the outside of Dimitri. I'm not going to slaughter his surname. And he's going to have a run on Pietro Pagano down into turn 6. Now can he get it turned and keep the momentum up? Down to 7. And we cut back to the front. And it's now becoming a battle of 5. As Alexander Reddy is coming back towards Sean Brierley. So it's White, Healy, Aaron, Brierley, Reddy, gap to Tom Powell. Alexander Lamin under pressure from Tom King, Harry Neal and then Sam Luscombe. Down in I think about 10th place. The rest of the field stream through. So White not getting away from Daniel Healy. Greg Aaron holding off Brierley and Alexander Reddy. You'll have to excuse the dodgy camera work. This is all done on an iPhone. That's the battle for 12th place, I think. Starting with Nick Hoyle, Harrison Darville. Back up front. White has a couple of kart lengths on Daniel Healy. Obviously it contracts into the braking zones and then stretches on acceleration. Quick glance over the shoulder from Healy. Not getting away too far from Greg Aaron in third. Takes another look. It's all ahead of you, Dan. The rest of the field coming through. Back on board with Wakeman. Down in the midfield, struggling to make too much progress. This track just does not lend itself to coming through the field. That's Frankie Hedges ahead of us. He's going to try and go around the outside, but the nose is cut off into turn 3, and he'll just have to wait for another shot at Frankie Hedges. Luke Hornsby ahead of Frankie. Right, we're back up with the front, and you can see how far the field is now stretched. White is coming out of turn 9 as people were going into turn 6. Oh, White runs wide in the last corner. A chance for Healy. And Harry Neal has picked off Alexander Lamin in that second group. The mistake from Adam White wasn't enough to give Healy a chance into turn 1 or turn 2. Wakeman takes a long look over his shoulder as he builds up to another assault on the back of Frankie Hedges. Hedges deep into turn 2, a chance now for Wakeman, but it's a long way around the outside of turn 4, and he'll just have to wait, and that is the problem with Red Lodge when you're trying to make progress from the back of the field. Fortunately, the engine noise and his crash helmet prevent us from hearing exactly what he described Frankie there as. Down into the last corner. White, does he get the corner right this time? Yes, he does, and it's just as well, because Healy is right there looking for a way by. Not close enough for turn 1, and Greg Aaron is closing in. The front of this A final is coming back together. Trying to keep the revs up through turn 4. Trying to get good momentum out of 5. He got a little bit boxed in there behind White. I think he's got away with it. Hasn't lost too much time. Into turn 7. How far will he come off that inside line? Not very far. White missed his apex, or certainly went in deep, and it's side by side out the corner. And it's a group of 5 now. White covers him off on the drag back to the last corner. Ready, looking to the inside of Sean Brierley. There was never a move on there. They've both kept going, but they have lost ground on the leading trio. Wakeman has lost ground on Hedges. People have gone by. 2 steps forward, 1 step back for Lex Wakeman. Brierley hasn't lost too much ground on Greg Aaron. It's still a group of 5. Oh, and White is under pressure. Looking over both shoulders now. You'll be able to hear Dan Healy and Greg Aaron behind. Missed his apex there, but only by a few inches. Good exit. Will hold the lead down into the last corner. And Greg Aaron is under pressure from Sean Brierley. Reddy is still in the mix. Tom Powell just unfortunately not able to go with them. Battle for 11th place. Andrew Green under pressure from Adrian Richardson into turn 1, and here comes Adrian down the inside. Oh, Green tries to close the door. He's just managed to get it shut. Well, it's not so much shut but ajar. Battle for 19th place here. Oh, Wakeman trying to find a way back past James Luchford. It's not happening for Lex in this final, no way at all. Oh, James runs in deep and wide, and this time Wakeman should be through into turn 7. No point fighting that one, James. So, battle for 11th place. Richardson is clear of a 3-4-way dice now between Andrew Green, Christopher Powell, Harrison Darville, Nick Hoyle. Oh, it's all getting a bit frantic. Luke Hornsby's joining that group with James Williams. So Green, something of a cork in the bottle for Chris Powell and co behind. Let's move forward to the battle for 9th place. Alexander Lamin ahead of Sam Luscombe, who we ride with. Sweeping through turn 7. Oh, he runs out wide, and the door opens for Sam to throw it down the inside, and he's through. So Luscombe upper position. Richardson well clear now of this battle for 12th place. And Christopher Powell's pulling clear as well in the black there. So Andrew Green trying to hold off Harrison Darville, Nick Hoyle, James Williams, Luke Hornsby, and they're all closing in behind him. Charging in to turn 1, then on the brakes hard for turn 2, 3, and it's the switch back through 4 into the hairpin here at turn 5. Trying to set up for turn 6, back with Wakeman, and that's still Frankie Hedges on our left. Now Hedges goes in narrow. The cutback should be on for Wakeman as Hedges runs out over the curb and nearly on the grass. Now you've been wondering what's been happening up front. Well, here you go. Adam White is your leader. Dan Healy still a car length down. Brierley takes a look over his shoulder. And Alexander Reddy. Greg Aaron stays in 3rd. Tom Powell, Luscombe and Lamin go through in their own personal battle over 9th place. Darville now desperately trying to find a way past Andrew Green. You saw the warning board there, outdriver standards for Andrew Green. I don't know if he's been a little bit too aggressive on the defence, but it's caught the attention of the observers. Close, hard, fair racing is what we want. And Adam White is still just holding off Dan Healy. They've got a cart length, the pair, on Greg Aaron at the moment. He's got Sean Brierley on his bumper. Alexander Reddy stays in 5th. It's still a top 5. Healy going narrow into turn 1. Not sure why he's doing that. He's not close enough to put a pass in. Perhaps he's trying to throw off Greg Aaron behind him. Luskin and Lamin. Gap then to Adrian Richardson in 11th. White making mistakes, so he's not getting away. But he's not making them in the places where Dan Healy can take advantage of them. Unless Dan's got a plan and he's saving it for the last lap. That's a risky strategy. So it's 5 away at the front still. White, Healy, Aaron, Brierley. Ready out of turn 9. Here they come, on to start the final lap then. Has Adam White got enough to hold off Dan Healy? Once again, Healy goes narrow out of the last corner to hold off Greg Aaron. Tom Powell will finish 6th. Tom King, Harry Neal. Gap then to Luscombe and Lamin in 10th. Down into turn 5. Oh, and Greg Aaron tries to force a pass on Dan Healy. And that has released Adam White. If Dan had something saved for Adam on the last lap, he'll not get the chance now. And that's the risk of not taking the chance when it's on. So here they come then. The fight is over second. Adam White's got 3-4 kart lengths on Greg Aaron, and Greg has picked up some penalties in this final. So here they come then. Adam White, he won at Ellough Park in the main trophy final. He's going to win at Red Lodge, back-to-back final wins, ahead of Dan Healy, Sean Brierley, Alexander Reddy and Tom Powell, as Greg Aaron is relegated to 6th, ahead of Tom King and Harry Neal.
Fantastic. Okay, yes.
Adam White, you want to roll, Adam?
I certainly hope so.
And, well, this is what we call championship form. Can you keep it going into Wilton?
So we've raced a few times at Wilton Mill, so hopefully it's a circuit that I enjoy. So yeah, I certainly hope to try and finish in the top 5.
And I'm guessing, like the rest of us, this is your first time at Red Lodge. What do you think of the circuit?
So it's an excellent little circuit. It's quite technical on the infield, and it's got some nice high-speed bends. So yeah, it's really enjoyable.